3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Good. Take these that way. Feet apart. Hands in your hips. 10 hands. Ready? Go. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Right, turn your face to the right. Miss Ava, can you please demonstrate 10 mountain climbers? You just demonstrate 4. Good. So each time you bring both feet in, so 1, 2 is 1. 10 of them. Go. Yes, you want to keep your back flat and bring your knees. Split out just a little and you bring them in and then out. There you go. Excellent. I'm going to pretend I heard everybody. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I tell you what, everybody move forward 2 dots. Push up. Good. Feet together, butterfly. Yes, ma'am. Good. One again. Yes, ma'am. But make sure you're using both hands reaching for those toes. Switch! Yes, ma'am. So who can take their forehead all the way down to their knee? Right, keep that leg flat, straight up. I said down to your knee. That's your knee to your forehead. Repeat. Nice. Good. Get up. Hey, everybody over here real quick. Yes, ma'am. All right. If I were to say jab, punch, which hand are we punching? Everybody tell me. I don't know. It's only your first class and you're correct. I dig it. I didn't hear her. You must have heard her in your mind. Are you a mind reader? No, I'm an excellent listener. An excellent listener. Are you an excellent listener at home for mom? Not exactly, but I have really great hearing. Really good hearing. I dig it. So we are doing a jab cross, which means we're going to punch our front hand first and then our back hand. Now I have a question about my jab cross. Should I punch, pull my hand back, and then punch again? Or should my hand switch as this one comes back, I send this one to the target? What do you think, Shelly? Switch. So as this one comes back, this one is already headed to the target, right? All right, very good. Real quick, do my thumbs go inside my fist? No, ma'am. All right. True or false? I am hitting with the entire front part of my hand. Oh. Who said false? Was that you, Stanley? Yes, Stanley, what's the correct part of my hand to hit the target with? This part, man. Correct. The top 2 knuckles. Everybody say top 2 knuckles. Top 2 knuckles. The whole thing is just this part right here. That is what you want to make contact with the target. Now, do you guys see the letter Y? That is your target. Both punches should be going straight to the Y. Stanley, Billy over here, Yusoshi, Courtney right there, Amelia and Ruger right there. So back up. So Courtney, you're in the front of her. Well, go stand on the star behind her. Behind her. And you're going to stand behind. Stand on the star behind or push you. There we go. Good. So when you get up to the target, right go back, hands up. You're going to punch your front hand 1, back hand 2. That is the combination. You're going to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do not just do this. I'm gonna tell ya. You're going to do it 5 times and then switch people. Everybody clear on the instructions? Yes, ma'am. Good. Which foot is going back when you get up there? Right foot. Correct. Ready? Go. Right foot behind you. Up like this. Perfect. And then front hand first. 1, 2. There you go. Now move up close to the right hand first. While you're getting the music, you want to take your time and don't try to hit it too hard. Just make sure you're getting the chords out. So that way you're taking that part. And once you get used to it, then you can start that fast. Yes, ma'am. Now I know I asked you guys to move quickly, but there's a rule to that, or a second part of that. What is it? Move as fast as you can. What? Courtney? Billy?
Move as fast as you can for your piston motion.
Well, no, but we move as fast as we can, but we still make sure that we're doing it correctly. So as fast as you can, correct. So if you were doing this super fast, is that helping you at all?
No.
If I have to go this slow to make sure I'm doing it correctly, is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is, because I want your form to be correct. Once you're doing it correctly, then you can speed up. Now, is this okay?
No, ma'am.
Well, I still went slow, so how come that one's not okay and the other one was?
You need more energy.
More energy? I need to be applying more effort, right? If I'm going slow, but you can tell I'm trying to do my absolute best and make sure it's correct, that's okay. But originally, then we obviously don't care, right? All right. Yes.
Yeah, because if someone came up to you,
Yeah.
and was like, you're obviously going to do something too.
Yeah, Courtney. What's that? If somebody comes up to me and goes like this, you know what I'm gonna do? Bye. All right. So back to work. This time, I want you to slow down a little bit. Everybody say slow down.
Slow down.
Make sure it's correct. Okay, go back. Quick time.
Yes, ma'am.
30 seconds. Ready, go.
Back and it comes from here. And again, as it comes back, this one goes to the right. So everybody go back. Right. That across we have. What are the two other punches that we practice? Two other kinds of punches. What is this one called?
Anybody?
Amelia? I think we have a side punch.
You're a really good guess. I'll give you a hint that rhymes with bump. Courtney,
Hook punch.
a hook punch. Everybody say hook punch.
Hook punch.
All right, and there's one other kind of punch that you do. What's this kind of punch called? Oh, good. Everybody tell me.
Uppercut.
Uppercut. So now we're going to practice our uppercut. Now, when doing an uppercut on this target, we are not hitting hard. I'm going to say not hitting hard.
Not hitting hard.
From here, my hands are ready. All I'm practicing is my body mechanics, or the motion my body is doing. My hands stay up, my knees drop down. From here, I'm punching up. Notice how I don't punch and then stand up, but I'm doing it all at the same time. Down and up again. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I go fast?
No, ma'am.
I want you to go very, very, very slowly. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, which hand punches first? Front or back?
Front.
Correct. We're doing two punches, right hand, one, backhand, two. You're gonna do the combination 5 times, and then some people do not do this. That's not what we're doing. Everybody ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Go! Hands up. Then your knees down. Punch one. Front hand first. turn. Never punch with your thumbs inside your head. You want them wrapped on the side. There you go. And see how you're kind of straightening across it? Just pull and shove. Okay, a little closer. Thumbs out of your see another punch at the same time. Yeah, right hand on your foot. Yeah, like this, so that it's almost the edge. Wiggle, wiggle. Here, you're coming from the side. Straight. So, yeah. From the side. Straight up. Oh. All right, here we go. Yes, ma'am. Look at your hands. What part of your hands is red? It could be only these two knuckles. If your whole hand or all of your knuckles are red, what does that mean? Coordinate. That you're punching wrong, right? Or that you're not punching with the correct part of your hand. How do we make sure that we punch with the right part of our hand? What do you think? Does this help me punch with the right part of my hand? How about this? How about this? How about this? Now what did I just move all of those times? Billy? Okay. Well, but what connects my fist to my arm? Your wrist. Your wrist. You have to keep your wrist straight. You want to imagine that there's a straight line between your forearms and your fingers right here. Is this straight? Or is this straight? Here, come over here. Look at my hand, okay? Is this a straight line from here to these knuckles here? No, it's curved, right? So if I go to punch like this, I can't hit with the correct part of my fist. Is this a straight line from this to those? Yes. Okay, so when I say keep a straight line, I don't mean your wrist should be straight. I mean there should be a straight line of bone here. So your wrist is angled ever so slightly out. Does that make sense? Keep your arms out, show me. Perfect. Perfect. Good. Good job. Underneath. See your hand touch. Okay. Can you see the difference? Yes, ma'am. Good. All right. Moving on, we're going to add a knee check. Watch this. Leave up. Uppercut, uppercut. She's going to grab the top. She's going to use her back knee and hit the target. Just like that. You guys do that? Yes, ma'am. Good. Now, so uppercut, uppercut, not for power. Grab and then knee it as hard as you possibly can. Yeah, come on. It'll be fun. Are you guys ready? Yes, ma'am. Oh, by the way, don't kick this part with your toes. It'll ruin your day. All right, go back, go back. Uppercut. 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 Grab the top. Yeah, there you go. 3 times. 3 times. And you can use it. Oh. Here comes snap right back. Good job. All right, Stanley. You're going to do a number 3 axe kick and an elevated jump front. Watch. First thing he's going to do, slide your feet together. He's going to get on top of the target. Go. Now he's going to lift his back knee. He's going to jump and kick. So how do you control how much space you move forward? Instead of jumping forward, jump straight up. Does that make sense? All right. Again, axe kick. Yeah. Oh. 3 axe kick. Slide your feet together and kick. So close. An axe kick though, we keep the down. Okay. Kill. From here, he lifts his back knee and he jumps and kicks. That's the combination. You guys do that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you notice how I was holding the target? Yes, ma'am. When you guys hold the target, I want you to hold it with both hands, just like this. First tap, second kick goes up. Everybody understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Hold this. Hold this. Can you hear that, Stanley, please? All right, ready? Nice and set. You're going to do the combination 3 times with people. Ready, go.
All right, back up a little bit. First, bring it up. Now slide it together. Keep it straight. Up here. There. There you go. Now put it down in front of you though. So here, I'm going to lift your back. Look, keep your phone. Oh, back to that hand up. Jumping is fine. Remember, up on the wide side, down on the middle. So, put it in front of you. And then lift your feet up. Don't lift your bottom. Straight up and then jump it. Okay, on that one, put it in the top. Open up. Forward top. Stretch your back hands up. Back up a little bit. Eva. Slide your feet together.
Right, please. Do we set our feet together or our foot in front of us? What was that? In front of us. Good. So I see a lot of us setting our foot down in exactly the same spot. Make sure you set it in front. Again, you control the distance you move with the next kick by, instead of jumping forward, jumping straight up. Does that make sense? All right, ready, go. That's good. Not an act. Yeah. Not an 4 parts. So then you're going to bend and then bend down. So
have your
if you bend, bend with the down.
we start
Try it. Reverse. All right, time. You guys get the targets tonight. Ava, find the star in the back 2 rows. Too fast. With me. So glad we all answered, Bob. Stanley, come up here. Yes, ma'am. Stanley, move over. Right. Everybody move forward 1 star. Good. Right back to you. Yeah. Guess what you have done? All of your blue stripe. Now it's time to put it together. What are the first 2 moves in your blue stripe, Stanley?
number 3, axe kick and elevated front jump kick.
An elevated jump front kick. What are the next 2 moves, Courtney?
The
Close. Back with blast. You're so shitty?
yeah,
Okay. And Courtney, what are the last 3 moves?
the uppercut move.
2 uppercuts and a knee, right? All right, very good. Hands up. So I want to see you demonstrate the first 2 moves first. You're going to slide forward, kick, and then jump, kick. Ready, go. Yeah. All right. What kind of kick is that first kick? Is it or the second kick? An axe kick or a jump kick? I mean, a snap kick. Snap kick. Snap kick. How many cards are there in snap kick? 1 or 4? 4. So is this the correct way to do demonstrate all four parts. You can't just swing your leg straight up and straight back down again. Are you guys ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hands up.
Yes.
First two moves. Ready, go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which one are you taking or driving?
We're not gonna jump.
Push right for that. Hands up. Show me that again. Which one are you doing in jumping? Right.
Go. And now
Lift your back.
jump.
Excellent. Hands are up. Jump across. Uppercut. Uppercut. Straight. Go. Yeah. 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 Good. All right. Everybody go back. Yes, ma'am. We're gonna do the whole thing together. That's so maybe chicken nuggets.
Yes, ma'am.
Back to back. Remember, how fast do I want you to go? Your own speed, as fast as you can correctly. If you do it in slow motion, as long as I can tell you're trying your best, that is okay. Go. Yeah. 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 Remember, when we're practicing our uppercut, inhale, open up with our arm. Everybody go back. Get from there. Hold on, Tava. That way you can extend on. Amelia, roll the table for you real quick. Right to back. Yeah. Who's gonna be stronger, boys or girls? Boys. All right, go. Yes, ma'am. Which hand are we punching first? Front hand. Right to back. Yeah. Go. Really? Everything over here. Now, can you finish your combination? And I see you standing like this. Are you showing me that you're paying any attention to what you're doing?
No, ma'am.
We're all going at our own pace, right? Which means some of us are finishing faster and some of us are finishing slowly. That's okay. What's not okay is for you to stand there like this. Does that show discipline?
No, ma'am.
Does it show self-control?
No, ma'am.
Does it show your classmates that you're patiently waiting for them to finish?
No, ma'am.
So what do I look right now? On paper? Bored or annoyed, right? Is that the kind of team encouragement that we're about?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's fix that. Right now. Back to front. Let's go. Push me out. Right, ready, go! Yeah! Good, ready, go! Yeah! Everybody come over here, make a circle. Yes, ma'am. Come on, Amelia. All right, make a circle. Spread out. Back, spread out. Don't worry, potato. Right, ready, go! Yeah. All right, we're gonna play a game. You guys ready for a game?
Yes, ma'am.
We are gonna go around this circle demonstrating our blue stripe. However, the person demonstrating will intentionally be doing it incorrectly. You will leave out at least one, if not two, moves. You can choose what the moves are. Everybody else then has to raise their hand, and if you can tell me what moves were left out, you get to go next. You guys understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Shore, could you please demonstrate?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Okay. Courtney,
He forgot the knee and he forgot to put his leg up.
he forgot the knee and he did the wrong second kick. Change the rules to the game. Oh, anyways. For now, we'll just leave moves out. Good. Courtney, you're up. Right? Back.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Good. Billy.
He left the job also.
Correct. Billy, right? Back. Rudra.
He left out the uppercut. Wait. He left out the jump kick.
Okay.
And he left out the third axe kick.
There's only 2 kicks. He did leave a second move out. Stanley, what was it? Courtney, what was it?
The knee.
Correct. He left out his jump kick and the knee strike. Rudra, right in the back, hands up. Go ahead. Billy,
He left out the last uppercut.
you left out his second uppercut. Very good. Yusoshi, go ahead.
Yeah.
Courtney,
He left out the jump kick.
very nice. Ava and Amelia, go ahead. Just stay with Miss Ava. She'll help you out. Courtney,
He forgot the knee and the jab.
the knee and the jab. Technically, it was the knee and the cross, but yeah. All right, good. Everybody come over. Oh, Stanley, you didn't go yet, did you? Or did you? Yes, you did. All right, everybody come over here. Good work. You're close to glute strike pressing. But when we do a combination, should it be slow or should it all flow together? Everybody tell me. All right. So while it is absolutely okay to take your time to practice, in order to test with it, you would have to be able to do it all in one smooth movement. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you have to practice. All right. All right. Self-defense. You can tell me what the self-defense is. What's the attack? Courtney. Joseph. You can tell me. It's your first day. You already know the answer. I'd be really impressed.
I think it's the.
Okay, so close. So that is two different parts of the curriculum. That is the end of our glute strike. Now we're talking about the self-defense. So we always teach a grab or an attack that you also learn to defend against. Anybody? Billy. What? I don't think you got anything else. You know this. Courtney. Yes.
Grabbing on the wrist.
No.
A choke grab.
Thank you. A front shoulder grab, which could also be used if somebody is choking you. But we don't practice that in class. Yes. So I am well, actually, why don't you attack me? So I'm being grabbed here. Again, it could also be used if somebody is grabbing you around the neck, but we don't practice it that way in class. Does that make sense? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Now, who can tell me what I do? Oh, okay. Shoji, what's the first thing I'm gonna do?
Lift your hand up.
No. First thing I'm gonna do is put my hands up. Make sure, guys, that it goes all the way up straight. Do you see how much space is between my arm and my ear right now? This puts no pressure on his wrist, and the defense will not work. From here, my arm goes all the way up. I am pinning his hand to the side of my head. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
You can think about it as you pinning your biceps to your own ear. That works as well. That same side is going to take a step. I cannot step and leave my body facing him. This also doesn't work. I have to make sure that I step and turn with breaks and pulls. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
From here, I'm going to pretend I'm elbowing the ground. I'm dropping my arm straight down. Now, if I can hold on to his arm, great. If not, that's okay. You want to make sure that you're going straight over the top of his arm. I see this a lot, which doesn't do anything for you. Straight down. Step back. And what do we say? Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Good. 2 lines. One in front of Mr. Shakur, one in front of me. Quickly. Either line. You're going to switch back and forth. Here, come over here. Oh, see what the mean is. Come over here. down with your elbow. You grab it. Now step back. Leave me alone.
Go over there.
Supervisor touching your ear. This one behind you. This one in front of you. Present. Now to the side. Step forward to the backward. Still moving along. Put your hand up. Put your bicep to your ear. This foot, step it over. Leave me alone! The reason that you do it that way is because in a minute it will show you. No! Leave me alone! Set it back. And show you backward straight. Half close to the way you set it back. Looking down on here as you set, turn your shoulders back. Right. Now it's up and straight down. Just like that. And then step back. With this foot, you step back. And then say, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Step forward. This one in front, this one in front. Leave me alone. You're going that way. Leave me alone. All right. So a common mistake that I see us making is instead of stepping forward, we are stepping backward. Now, does my body end facing sideways both ways? Yes, it does, right? But here's why it's not correct to step backwards. Because in a second, we're going to go over the next steps. From here, I'm too far away to effectively deliver my next two moves. Does that make sense? Yes, ma'am. I have to step forward so that I'm close enough to make contact with the moves that I'm going to use next. Anytime we do our self-defense, we always teach two versions. The soft version, a way to get away without actually striking back. And then a more serious self-defense version, right? In what instance might you need to use the soft version where you don't want to hurt anybody? Amelia? When they're not exactly like choking you, they're just like putting their hands in you, making you very uncomfortable. Okay, yeah. So yes. Should anybody ever be allowed to put their hands on you like that? No. What about your friends? Is that okay? No. What about somebody you know, but you don't really like? No, but you don't necessarily want to break somebody's nose either, right? Okay, so you want to be able to get away without hurting anybody so that they understand that you're serious, which is why we say leave me alone. But there might be instances where you are uncomfortable, in danger. Someone you do not know is putting their hands on you. And you might need to be a little bit more serious with how you get away. Does that make sense? This is why we teach two versions. Now, whose rules do you follow for when it's okay to use the soft version and when it's okay to use the serious version? Phyllis, your parents' rules. Amelia, are your parents' rules the same as what my rules would be? They're not. Courtney, are your parents' rules the same as Stanley's rules? At the end of the day, if you ever have to use your self-defense for any reason, who has your back always? Your parents do, right? Let's say you're in school and a kid is messing with you and they either punch or kick at you or they put their hands on you. Your parents are going to give you a set of rules to follow on how they want you to handle that. If mom or dad say, you know what, just walk away and tell the teacher, that's okay. If mom or dad say, I want you to use your martial arts to defend yourself, at the end of the day, mom and dad are the ones that are going to stand up for you and say that that is what I told them to do. Does that make sense? If you say, let's say, Ava calls me a name, right? Go ahead. Meaning, and I punch her in the stomach. Oh. Anybody's parents told them to do that? Right. kind of escalating the situation, right? But if I punched her in the stomach, was that a smart, disciplined use of my martial arts? No. Who was gonna get in trouble for that? Me? Why would I get in trouble? Oh, well, because I'm the one that punched her, you mean? All right, all right. But if Ava tries to punch me and I block and strike back, maybe those were my parents' rules. Maybe she tried to punch me 3 times before I hit her back. And then I defend myself. Am I getting into trouble for that? Yeah, because I was following the rules. Does that make sense? Yeah. What are the 3 questions you have to ask your parents? 3 questions, 3 different scenarios. Courtney.
When someone makes you feel uncomfortable, what do you do?
Okay, so 3 different questions that you're supposed to ask your parents. 3 different scenarios. What do you do if someone calls you a name? What do you do if someone pushes you? And what do you do if someone punches or kicks you? Who's had that conversation with their parents before? Okay, can you know? Who's had that conversation with their parents in the last 2 weeks? If you haven't, put your hand up. Okay. That is the type of conversation that should be had regularly. Does that make sense? We used to have it every single week at my house. As a kid, I was kind of like, Mom, I know, okay? Don't do that. It's for your own safety and protection. But that's not a conversation you can have once. You have to have it all the time. Now, does that mean the rules change? No, but what it does is it helps you feel more comfortable. Nothing is more scary than you being in a situation where you need to defend yourself and you not knowing what to do because you feel like you might get in trouble. Does that make sense? The way that you fix that is by having that conversation. Now, the mom and dad will tell you this. It is completely different if a stranger who you do not know does any of those things, calls you a name, pushes you, or punches you. Versus someone from school, someone in your class, you know, a friend, a cousin. The rule set is different. Does that make sense? Okay. So make sure you ask them about a stranger and a classmate or a student. You understand?
A close person? A close person?
A close person? Yeah, I mean, again, you can have that conversation. You can say, Mom, what do I do if my cousin Billy does this? Mom, what do I do if my classmate does this? And what do I, you can have that conversation 5,000 times. But I promise you, their rules will be different for a complete stranger versus a kid your age. That makes sense? Okay. You guys want to play a game?
Yes,
ma'am. If you know the dodgeball, you owe me 2 push-ups in your racket. Okay. We'll go!
Okay.
Yes, I know, super fast. I talked about it. Come over here. Time for later.